minutes, you know what I mean?
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that since Brittany is away, that Andy have the duty of taking minutes.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
And all in favor? All opposed?
Do you want to do a roll call?
Yes.
For attendance.
Yes.
I'll just name everybody and then do here or not here.
Oh, it's gonna be a long meeting.
You guys can go, I'll catch up. It's fine.
Well, let's put on record who's here, and let's put on record who's not here. When I say record, I mean Mike.
Okay, Mike Kendall,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay Bradford,
Yes.
Kelly Dudley,
Here.
Tim Morgan. Yeah.
Okay, somebody needs to make a motion with previous minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve previous minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we'll go to the citizens' report. Is there any-
Been a lot of updates on current cases. There's no new cases to report since the last meeting. However, I will take this time to go ahead and let everyone know that our amendment to zoning was approved. The mayor and Mike Kendall attended the meeting on March the 5th, county building, and so our change to zoning was approved to allow folks in the commercial, was it neighborhood commercial, to allow them to sell those single family homes. We do need to I guess, do an approval to allow Mr. Woods to craft an ordinance, not to codify it, so that we can send it. So I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is that it, Andy?
That's it for me.
I've got something.
Okay, go ahead.
I was requested to check on the lien threshold of previous meetings, I guess. We had a discussion, if you remember what that amount was. And I think at the end of that conversation, I don't recall what amount was decided, but looking back at the minutes, the October 6th of 2021, October 6th of 21, we had a long discussion, and actually Matthew Wortman made a recommendation to set it at $5,000. And if you recall, I remembered the number 10,000, and just as an explanation, you know, the only reason I even brought that up is because during the Z21 process and program, PDS put a small breakout committee of members of different municipalities, and they were charged with setting up I guess a standard amount that hopefully all cities would adopt. And I recall their recommendation was $10,000. And I'm not sure, of course, I'm not sure that how many cities actually set that. I doubt that everybody did. And that's the only reason I brought that $10,000 up. But we voted on $5,000, and it was approved. Then the next month, the subject came back up again, and another long discussion, and we reset it to 2,000. So it's much lower than what we thought it was. I think Diane remembers the 10,000 too, so, but it's actually $2,000 is the threshold.
And that was put in the motion too?
Yeah, and approved, yeah.
Is that a resolution or ordinance? Yeah. Just curious.
I can't recall. I couldn't find an ordinance on it. I think it was, yeah, I think it was just a vote. I couldn't find a resolution or an ordinance, but
Then, should we have Matt draw up an ordinance?
we need to do something if I could not find one, so.
Okay,
And it should have been in that binder that Matt had, and that's what I looked through,
okay.
since it was 21. So,
So you want to impose a self-imposed threshold on liens or?
well, that's what the body approved at the time.
Do we need to take action?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
We need somebody to make a motion.
Respect, okay.
A motion to let Matt go ahead.
Right.
Okay.
I make a motion that we allow Matt to go ahead and develop an ordinance setting a threshold of $2,000.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anything else, Randy? Please?
Hope everybody got my report and had a chance to look it over. Any questions?
Good, sweet.
I did have a question.
Yes.
You got on here that there was 5 fire assists.
I just go with the call volume says, so if
Okay.
there was a.
I was gonna say, because on his it says 0, so I didn't know what
Well,
the description
one could be like a lift, well-being check, things like that. They're not criminal, they're more on the medical side, so that's why I put them that way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Fire department?
I think what Chief Tan was saying is he assists the fire department, whether it's EMS or fire. And then we had 1 fire run last month. We had 6 EMS runs. Any question about the report?
No. Does anybody got any questions for Michael?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Roads like Dave. So do I.
All right. Let's see. I spoke with, last month I was asked to contact Commissioner Bobby Joe Lewis about our rural and municipal aid application. As I reported last month, they responded back and said that the General Assembly returned January the 6th and will adjourn on April the 15th. And we will be notified of our application once it is addressed. I'm assuming that the legislature down there is dealing with bigger stuff right now, but it's a point that they do to the county, Kenton County. So we'll see if any money is available at that time. On that project, spoke with Matt Arlinghouse, and he said that their evaluation is 95% done with the reports, the street priorities, and everything that will be going into the bid booklet. He said we should be receiving that within the next 1 to 2 weeks, then we can start on a bid book. Okay. That's where we stand on the street resurfacing project. So citizen Larry Hammett called me again with his safety concerns for down there at Pleasant and Pike Street. I contacted the state, waiting back to hear from them. I've had 3 contacts reaching out to them, but no response. I had 1 response, and they They confirmed what's necessary for KRS and putting a no parking sign on Route 8. They said that we could do it, but it has to be approved. And when I sent it down, they called me back and they Google Earth that intersection. He says, well, there's already a yellow curve there. And I said, yeah, the yellow curve's on Pleasant Street. And I've given you a picture showing the visibility of that from that stop block. The Ghostbusters car is now parked on Pike Street again, so it does obstruct the vision. So I told Larry that we would take care of that and put a no parking in front of those residents. What I want to do at that time is the no parking sign that's on Pleasant, Jack, I'd like to put it on Pike Street. According to the state, normally it's 50 feet from intersections. I know we've got other ones around town that are shorter, so I'm going to recommend 25 feet on Pike Street and remove the yellow curve on Pleasant Street, so those homeowners, it shouldn't affect more than two, can park right around the corner and still have close proximity to their house. But all this requires a ordinance to be placed from the city, and I don't want to do an ordinance right now
Until you hear from the state.
until I hear from the state and make sure that they're in cooperation with us, because if they say it's okay, then we'll know how to set up that ordinance.
And make sure we get that in writing too, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure you'll do this, but just so we don't have to waste another month to ask next month, for example, will you ask them if there's any specific language that they want in the ordinance or anything? I know sometimes we incorporate, just, there may not be, but just in case.
Okay.
There's actually a guy that parked in front of the Ghostbusters car.
Yes.
Made it even worse. It's,
Okay, that's in that picture.
Yeah, take it from here.
It's a little Toyota.
yeah. That's a good compromise too. Dave's compromise there is good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, David.
Yes, sir.
All right, have you got anything, Jack, you want to say?
Got traffic mirror up on Main Street across from Moore.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
And I started ahead of Reed, the garage at 102 Kent Street was broken into.
Right.
So I had resealed the door with plywood. I did find a set of keys. It's actually for the back of the house that faces Kent Street.
Yeah.
So I was able to go in and secure one other door with a deadbolt. So eventually I'll be putting wood all over the windows and doors.
That was 102 Kenton?
Yes, 102.
All right, okay, Matt. You're up.
Sure. Actually, I'll work backwards, just since 102 Kent was brought up. As I mentioned last month, pretty sure I mentioned, we couldn't get them served, so we're doing what's called a warning order attorney. We're still within that 50-day period, so I don't have any update other than we filed with Kenton County, paid the fee on the city's behalf to get that process moving, so that's going forward. With respect to 305 Main, I was before judge earlier it was on Monday, I think it was the first Monday of this month. She went ahead and approved our motion for default and summary judgment, and it's been sent over to the master commissioner. I am working, well, it's Len Rokamp, but my office is working with Len in the master commissioner's office. They've got to triple check the file and everything. I will say that the person that signed for it, you couldn't really see the name. We don't know for sure if it was or was not the person acting on behalf of the LLC, so we actually had that gentleman served by sheriff this past week. So he has been served, so we have to wait now less than 20 days just to make sure he doesn't file an answer, which he hasn't in months anyway, and then they'll be able to proceed forward with foreclosure. So we had to pay, like, prepay $1,000 deposit and everything, so if you see that come through, that's what that is, and that's for advertising. It's all under statute. So that is going in the right direction. I guess, I don't want to say worst case scenario, because I think, the worst case would be he answers, gets everything, taken care of, that ain't going to happen. So my gut would be at the next meeting, well, I can definitely provide an update, but I think at the next meeting I'll be able to tell you that, hey, it's going to be in the roster to schedule for sale. So that's moving forward. Okay, so the SD. So I'm trying, as you guys know, like, small city, we're trying to be efficient with the SD1 stuff. When I say efficient, I mean time. It's taken some time, but I've been contacted. I've talked to Mike Wall a few times. I've talked to the attorney at SD1, Brian. I reviewed the contract. You know, I spent some time going through that. I did some legal analysis on really the entire situation, which ended up just being on a whiteboard in my office to really figure out what best makes sense from a contract perspective to craft this transaction so it's efficient, it's clean, and we don't have everyone's hand in a cookie jar. We have many cookie jars that essentially get to the same goal, which is soccer field, everything's fine, everyone's happy, so I'm not trying to stop that. But I guess I have a question I want to pose to council, is because I'm getting into this at the 11th hour, is just from a legal perspective, I guess it kind of preface a little bit. So essentially, what I have before me, just from a legal perspective, is the city and SD1 contracting to lease a parcel. And then with the intent and understanding 100% that the city is then just going to go ahead and sublet that to an entity. So Mike Wall, but an entity, it's a nonprofit corporation, and NCOA Gunners Inc., something like that. I have all the corporate information, but for this, it doesn't matter. And then he's essentially going to literally do everything, except for the maintenance and things like that. But he's going to want to, you know, encompass that it's a 5-year term. He's wanting even more, and he just wants to essentially take on that entire term. He's subletting the entire parcel. I guess my big question is I know that the city's been involved and you want the soccer field here. I don't doubt that for a second. Why is the city contracting with SD1 at all? I guess just why wouldn't, I guess just logically, and I've talked to SD1's attorney, not about this, it's the first time I'm bringing this up, but essentially I can still do this, but it's going to take hours and hours and hours of drafting work and things, which is fine, but I've been back and forth with SD1, and there's a big provision that's lacking. Well, there's a lot of provisions that are lacking in the SD1 contract. So I'm not going to get into the weeds of it because I ultimately want you guys to approve it if we get there, but some things I went back and tweaked. I added some things. He's like, no, we're not doing that. We're only leasing this to the city for $1, so we're not going to take on all this liability. But the biggest thing, and I haven't heard back on, and mind you, he and I have been going back and forth, and I sent this to him on Monday, so it's in fairness, is how does SD1 want the property when they get it back? And I know that there's all these handshake agreements and conversations, but what it's not in the contract is, does SD1 want it? I'm not asking you guys because you know the answer. I'm just telling you this is with that contract where I'm at. Does SD1? We're going to need to get in writing. Does SD1 want the irrigation system removed? Do they want it to be, or are they just going to accept it as is? And that, because that could be an incredible expense. So that's where we're at with that SD1 contract. I fired back to him. We've had a couple of revisions go back, and I said, whether SD1 is going to accept it as is, or SD1 is going to want the property restored, which I hope is no, or something in between, whatever that is, we need in writing. And that's he's probably talking to people to try to figure that out. But that's the biggest thing. But I guess the big issue is, or the big legal question I have is, we're going to have that contract, then I'm going to have a separate contract, which I've already started working on, which is essentially, it's a consent to sublet. So it's a separate agreement between the city and SD1. So the first contract leases the property. The second contract is going to spell out the terms of the sublet. Number one, giving permission in writing, which per the first contract is what needs to happen, but spell out all the things that the city's going to be allowed to do and that sublettor is going to be allowed to do. And then we're going to have a third contract between the city and Mr. Wall's organization, and that is going to be probably my biggest agreement to make sure the city's covered for a litany of things that no one can control, and I hope doesn't happen, but you know, What if the biggest risk is SD1 wants to breach and take it back? Mike Wall's got to, he's got it tied up, but I mean, the city can't be on the hook for that, so that's all got to be in writing. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm sitting here thinking, why doesn't he just lease the property directly from SD1 for the 5 years? Because he's completely landlocked that parcel on the sublease, and the city is going to be in the middle of that, and I don't know. That's fine. I don't know what I don't know, but I guess the city is going to be injected in that parcel and activity for purposes that I guess I don't understand. I mean, it'd be different. Let's change the facts, because this is not happening here. It would make more sense if the city was leasing a big piece of land and building a retail shop on it, and then they were, and then there were tenants paying money to the city. I'm not saying that could even work, but then it makes sense. But I guess the city stands to gain. The city stands to gain beautification and community and all those wonderful things that thing's going to do. Well, Mike wants to do that anyway. So the city doesn't need to contract with SD1 for that to occur, but the city wants it to occur. Mike wants it to occur. So I don't know if that's ever been discussed.
No, we never.
And I'm just trying to keep it easy.
I think there was an initial thought that if his organization didn't work out, or what have you, the city would have control over that parcel to move forward with some sort of recreational project or something, like a dog park or some other utilization of that lot. I think that was, but now it's become very complicated. So,
Well, I guess that lot has an expiration date on it anyway, like with SD1. So it's not forever. So for example, if the city was signing a 100-year land lease on that, I can see that. But essentially, they're only going to do 5 years. Maybe when you were involved before I was.
it was one, and we've renegotiated
They got to
for
5. Yeah, but if you already know that the soccer, absent some life event like a death, if he's going to put all that money in there, in my conversations with him, he wants it for like 10 or 15 years. So I guess, I can't predict the future, I can't control the future, but to your point, he's going to have legal rights to that property and a bunch of money tied up. So the potential of him backing out is incredibly slim. And eventually, I don't know, maybe he moves on, or maybe something happens, or he moves to California or whatever in 10 years. Well, that lot at that point, can be SD1 can, yeah, you guys can you go back to square one and go back to SD1 and say, hey, we want to do this now. I just see so much. Number one, you guys are paying me to get involved in all this stuff. The city is, but it doesn't feel clean to me, and we're going to have 3 separate contracts for something that the city's going to get without them, which is an operating soccer field that's going to be awesome for your community and all of that.
I guess if the city doesn't have an interest at this point, then we would just say that we're just holding our interest, right? And then you could help facilitate Brian Ellerman with Mike Wall.
Yeah, I guess that it makes the most sense to me, unless there's something I'm missing here.
No.
I don't think so.
I think now that we made the decision that he's not to donate any money to the city, and he's going to handle the construction and pay all the invoices and all that jazz, it makes more sense for him to have the lease, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't get an opinion, but my legal opinion and my legal advice to the city is correct. It makes the most sense for him to just do it, because no matter what happens, if there's liability there. And you can always say, well, the city is going to get tied up in a lawsuit anyway. But if the city is the lessee and then the lessor, I can guarantee we aren't with anything. And there's just so much risk to the city for benefit and gain that you're going to get anyway, just by the fact he's going to build it. So it just, I mean, the downtown lawyer might tell you, hey, let's draft all these different agreements and get all the time, but I don't want to do that. It feels muddy.
You don't see any downside to him agreeing to do that.
I don't know why, I mean, if anything, he probably,
I can't think of it.
if anything, he probably would prefer it because he wants it done.
Right.
But I don't know, I haven't brought this up.
We do have a little bit of money on the table at this point because we did this split lot, but that was gonna have to be done anyway between the.
And I'm not talking about the boat ramp, I'm just,
Sorry.
is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The survey, yeah.
Yeah, we paid, I think, around 5 for that.
Okay, 5,000?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the boat ramp is definitely not what I'm talking about, that would completely be separate. I'm just, I guess, I mean, you all know this city better than I do, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't think the city needs to be contractually involved in it for it to still be awesome.
Well, I think the city-
Unless there's things I'm not being told,
the
but
city's relationship with SD1 has always been phenomenal. I don't know if maybe the mayor having a meeting with the soccer owner and SD1, because Brian's on the clock all day, just have a meeting showing the city's support and ask them to start working and merging together on the lease.
Well, I think since Matt, he's been talking to them already, let him know, here's what the city wants. You know what I mean? The city would like to see him just take total control of it.
Well, maybe that could go too for the city. I just think sitting down for an hour in a meeting, you can resolve a lot of issues and find out which avenue you're going to take, opposed to communicating back and forth and somebody taking it the wrong way.
Well, the avenue we're gonna take is directly let him have all control over
Right.
that. The city stays out of it.
Well, we are committed to the water.
Yeah, right.
That's just one item that we're doing.
Right.
You're talking about the other lot? You're talking about the other lot?
No, water for the irrigation
Yeah.
system. The meter will be in the city's name.
so there may still need to be, because I know that the informal conversations are, grass cutting, there still probably will need to be some
Right.
type of an agreement in place.
Right.
But to your point, I don't even think that needs to happen, just with my conversation. I really, step one is, would SD1 even do it? Because to your point, Brian specifically said, we love the city, we want to support the city, we're totally cool with it, but, we're gonna lease it to you, but you guys take it from there, and that sounds great, but to take it from there is where all the issue, that's all the liability right there, which is fine on $1 a year lease, but he should just do that direct. I mean, it just makes more sense. So,
David, I talked to Brian Elton about this, okay? I mean, he's pretty much approved whatever the city wanted to do.
Right.
The only thing that I really stressed that we want that 5-year lease, you know what I mean? But if he could just get it himself, I'd rather the city stay out of that.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with that.
Okay. What about the other lease? We should be good to go on that.
the boat ramp, what
Yeah,
lease?
Riverfront lot, the boat ramp lot.
I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm literally just talking about the soccer field. To be honest, with the workload and those lawsuits and everything, I'm trying to space work out. Didn't touch the boat ramp this past month, I'm just telling you, because it's, no one's asking me about it. Like, it gets brought up, but yeah, no, didn't even touch that. I'm literally just talking about that one parcel.
Would somebody like to make a motion to let Matt go ahead and pursue? Letting Mike? Anybody?
So I guess
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, the motion, the ask is me going back to SD1's attorney to see if they would entertain just doing the lease directly.
Right.
Step one, and if they say no, then we're back to this drawing board. If they say yes, then I can have them better update the next meeting, and then talk to Mike.
I'll second the motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. Yeah, so as you guys can see, that takes up a lot of me, and I apologize. I've got one more thing for you. Okay, so back in December, you all discussed raising compensation for next term. You can't, under law, raise it for this term, obviously. So I have an ordinance, we'll do a first reading tonight, and then a second reading next month, which if it, passes on the second, then it'll be fine for statute. So I'm gonna read this. So City of Bromley, Kentucky, ordinance number 2026-03-11. This is an ordinance fixing the compensation for the office of mayor for the term of office beginning January 2027, and members of city council for the term of office beginning January 2027. Whereas an election shall be in the year 2026 for the office of member of city council and for the office of mayor, and it is necessary under the provisions of KRS 83A.070 to fix the compensation for such offices prior to the first Monday in May 2026. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of Bromley, Kentucky, under section 1, the compensation for the office of mayor of the city of Bromley, Kentucky for the term beginning January 1st, 2027 is hereby fixed at the sum of $2,400 per year payable in equal monthly installments. Under section 2, the compensation for the office of member of city council of the city of Bromley, Kentucky for the term beginning January 1st of 2027 is hereby fixed at the sum of $1,800 per year payable in equal monthly installments. Under section 3, this ordinance shall be published by posting on the city's internet website. Section 4, all other ordinances in conflict or parts thereof with this ordinance shall be and hereby are repealed to the extent of the conflict. Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage, publication, which may be in summary form and recording according to the law. I read this in great detail because this is our first reading.
Make a motion, we accept 2026-C3, or 03-11.
All in favor?
I'll second.
Who's second on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And nope, we're good. Thank you. That's it.
Mike, Ways and Means.
I really don't have anything to report. Everything's going fine. We still do have to, and hopefully maybe next month, get it taken care of, but we still have to amend the current budget.
Okay.
So I'll give it to Terry and I guess then not any changes that might need to take place. There's one item that we may need to add to it.
Okay. I just asked that you, when we adopted it, if you could send me that spreadsheet with that summary tab. I'm doing it differently than Kim, just so you can look at it and see what's changing.
Got it.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Okay. Park and Playground, Tim's not here, and I don't believe there's nothing going on. He didn't let me know, so. Insurance and grants? Kelly? I got been reading through it and looking at it, but there was some
There's
corrections
questions.
we're gonna have to make.
Yeah.
I think they got a little bit carried away with it, you know?
Right.
So,
Let me
Yeah.
preface that a little bit. Some of that may be some of the things that I had to offer the guy that did the evaluation. Because we would walk through and like this room,
Right.
when he was trying to evaluate the building itself, is there anything new in here? And I went, well, yeah, the room. And I explained to him all the work that had been done because what was the cost. And I told him what it was, and he may have, that's why that has changed in the building assessment.
Right.
It's about the same amount that I told him.
Okay.
The council chambers, I didn't have questions on, because I knew we had done things, but
Yeah.
the other two buildings and
Yeah.
the workers' comp, and, there was a few things that I just didn't think was right.
No, this was the total of the city
Oh, the whole
building
city, yeah.
itself, yeah, because it increased by about the amount that it
Right.
cost us. It was around $28,000. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, we got the assessment back from KLC, and then, of course, I, talked with Mike and Mike on it, and I've sent out an email just waiting to hear back. We'll see what those, work this discrepancies out, and then I'll update when I find out. And I'm still waiting on a date for the parade. She did send out a message a couple nights ago, and there was a few that responded about couldn't be here for this or couldn't be there for that, so I'm still waiting on a date for that to happen, so. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, under mayor's reports, I got a couple things. We were supposed to have our auditing company come in here and speak to us, but I don't know, I guess they must have got tied up or something. But,
Right.
hopefully she calls me. She might got called on traffic from the president.
Yeah.
That one guy, took him 2 hours to get off Buttermilk Pike.
That's not for an hour.
Terrible, you know? Also, I got contact, the gentleman who bought the keyhole grill, asked me if I would talk to the council about the possible idea of opening a medical dispensary in there, okay? And then he added, if we did that, once the recreational cannabis is legalized in Kentucky, it could potentially be a THC and CBD beverage destination too. So we need to address this, and along with addressing this, I would like to include a no vape stores in the city of Bromley. You know what I'm talking about?
Vape
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah. If we could do a motion, then I'll allow it, but
We're
it's up to you
concerned
guys.
about bringing the TLC, I mean, the marijuana in, but we're concerned about the vapes. They sell the vapes there when you, to
Right,
do
yeah.
that.
So it's up to you guys, you know what I mean, whatever you feel like you,
It's gonna bring a lot of revenue down here.
I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we can preemptively allow something that's outlawed by the KRS, right? I mean, there's no.
Well, okay, so, may I see that really quick?
I just think if we don't want it in the city at all, we need to do an ordinance to keep it out of the city.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to read this out loud so the council can hear that. Is that okay?
Okay.
I just, because this is an issue. So, my name is Brian Wisher. We were fortunate enough to purchase the Keyhole Grill a few months back. Exciting property with multiple opportunities and directions. We were contacted by a gentleman with a cannabis background, and he gave us the idea of possibly opening a medical dispensary, which I'm assuming is marijuana. Once recreational cannabis is legalized in Kentucky, it could potentially open as THC CBD beverage garden bar also, ? Currently, the city has opted out of cannabis dispensaries. Absolutely none of this is possible without the city's embrace and support of a project like this. This is something the city would be open to revisiting. Grateful for your time and consideration. Okay, so I'm not a pothead, but I know a lot about this space, so just don't judge me. Okay, so are you all familiar with the 2018 Farm Bill? Okay, some people are shaking their heads, yes. So the vape shop that you can go into now, like in Erlanger, for example, and buy the CBD and buy the Delta 9s, which is THC, the stuff, you know, the kids smoke like this, except it's extracted in a way that makes it legal under federal law, okay? That's over here, that's already legal. I'm not talking about the keyhole, I'm just kind of giving you a high level. And I would challenge you all to research this, okay? Because they're trying to challenge that. Separately, you've got medical marijuana, which in Kentucky became legal effective January 1st of 2025, but you have to have a prescription. It's very limited. So, you know, my 19-year-old can't say I'm having a bad day. I mean, they're very specific things. You get a medical marijuana card. The first dispensary to open up here just opened in Boone County, and that is a medical marijuana dispensary, okay? That is what he's talking about. Next will be, confident, over the next several years, recreational will be legal too, and then it'll just be, you can just go in off the street right after the council meeting. So there's three different, I'm giving general stuff, okay? There's three different things. There's what you can get online right now and order and have mailed to your house that's legal federally, that's extracted a certain way, really from hemp. Then there's medical marijuana that requires a prescription and a card. And then there is recreational, which is not legal yet, even though that's why everyone did it in the first place, right? So I can't get into the weeds of it now, but just because I'm not that prepared, but when Kentucky like enacted all of that, they gave the cities the ability to essentially copy paste ordinances and everything and use those as templates to opt out and pretty much ban. Here's your challenge. Well, I need to tell you all this because we're an open meeting. It's just, you're gonna have to act quickly because I'm giving you information, okay? That anyone can watch as it's recorded. The challenge is, I don't know if they have been approved for a license or not. So the time is ticking because and I'm not telling you this, 100%. I'm telling you this off the top of my head. So don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty confident when I say it's kind of a race to the license. So if the city has an ordinance that says, no, we're not going to have medical marijuana dispensaries in the city of Bromley, that's fine. But if someone gets approved for a license, that changes things. So I guess it definitely would be an ordinance. You wouldn't want it can't just be an oral motion or anything like that. But time's ticking because I don't know about what's going on here. So
he just wanted me to reach back to him after he asked me.
yeah. So that's kind of a high level without keeping you guys here until 8 o'clock. And that sounds like he just wants to turn that into whatever he can sell, he's going to sell there.
I looked into it a little bit, and there's 3 options that we need to, I guess, just talk about tonight. One is we can decide to go that route and allow it, which takes ordinances and resolutions and all this good stuff. Covington actually has approved it. So there'll be, I don't think they have any dispensaries there now, but I know Covington has it by way of ordinance. And people go to Covington. But that's one option. Another option is that we put it out for a residential vote. That's the second option. And then the third, and then the third is outright denial. There's only those 3 options, and that's it.
Well, I think Bill Hills, Crescent Springs, Covington, all of those have vape shops. So, if they're one just vapes, it's only 3 minutes in each direction to get it. I don't
But
think.
this is medical marijuana. They're
Just so you know,
Well,
Kentucky's
they're the
medical card
only ones, I think.
allows Indiana, Ohio, anybody with a medical card can come to Kentucky and use it. You can't take a Kentucky medical card and go to Ohio, it only has to be Ohio. So you're gonna be getting other people from other states in here as well, just so you know.
My opinion is we shouldn't allow it in the city. The city's too small. The building's right for other businesses.
Yeah.
I think.
Same opinion.
There's a limit to how many business storefronts we have in town. And giving that away to that particular entity is probably not in the best interest of the city. Now, as far as people using marijuana, I could care less. No one has ever overdosed on marijuana. So I'm not socially opposed to it, but I don't know that it's a good fit for our town.
I agree with that as well.
I agree.
I'll make a motion that the city of Bromley does not allow medical marijuana dispensaries or vape shops within the city limits.
Would you add that we allow them after the right ordinance?
That's what we were do that.
Yeah.
My question is with PDS and zoning, that's downtown?
That's
Core,
downtown.
Okay.
And
my question, and you might not know the answer to, but you guys need to make sure everyone's on the same page with, is if you look at that big sheet, you've got bars, restaurants, liquor, is vape shops on, is that gonna fall more on the PD? Is there gonna need some things, so the medical marijuana thing, we can do by ordinance, most likely, because I wanna fact check some things I don't know tonight. And then, recreational, sure, but the vape shop is, that's kind of like, you go to a gas station, they sell it. So that, you might want to check PDS stuff on that to understand what that would look like.
Yeah, because we might need a text amendment.
That's more of my gut with, just with vape
Yeah.
stuff,
That's what I would do.
Oh, with the vape specifically?
vape specifically. Because, so, you know, you've got standalone vape, I mean, you all know this, but you have standalone vape stores, that's one thing. But then you have stores where vapes is kind of like this ancillary product, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can go to a gas station, their primary thing is probably their number one sales, or, you know, probably soft drinks. And then vape, well, man, no, probably vapes, used to be cigarettes. And then they sell gas and all this other stuff, so, there's gotta be some stuff in zoning about that. I just wanna make sure you guys are covered, so applications unapproved and things are happening, and you're like, wait a second, we talked about that last year, so.
Okay, I'll reach out to PDS.
Okay.
He just keeps changing his mind on what he wants down there, don't he? This is
So
like the third thing I heard he wanted to change it to.
So if
Go ahead.
I put in there to have Matt create the ordinance, will you have time to put the verbiage in there based off of Andy's
findings, yeah.
findings? Or
Maybe, I need to look at some things, I also don't know, I need to look. This feels like they're just in discovery phase, but I don't know so many things about this situation, so I can't guarantee I'm gonna come back next month with an ordinance that you guys can vote on, because I don't know what I don't know here. But with respect to that, I should be able to come back next month with an ordinance saying that there shall be no medical marijuana dispensaries within the city limits of Bromley, and recreational, that's fine. The vape thing, I don't know. With that,
So you want my motion to just be to proceed with,
medical marijuana and
I would do medical marijuana, yes, and recreational.
and leave off the vape, yeah.
off the vape, possibly?
That way we can just move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way he's got that done. Now, if we do want to make a motion for, get another ordinance for vape, we can do that.
Another dash?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second Dave's motion.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, all right, I got 2 letters of interest to fill the vacant spot that Diane left council with, and I'll go ahead and read these letters, and the council couldn't pick who they feel is the best. The first one is, my name is Derek Bertie. I am reaching out to express interest in the vacancy on the Bromley City Council. I bought the property at 120 Shore Street in 2019 and have spent the subsequent years making it my home with my wife and our now 3-year-old daughter. While this would be my first appointment to City Council, I feel like the skills I've developed during my professional career and commitment to our community through voluntary work would lend itself well to the position. I graduated from Gateway Community Technical College in 2015 with my Associate of Science degree, and began my career at St. Elizabeth Physicians the same year. After 5 years as a front office associate at the Covington Primary Care, I was promoted to CBO trainer position within the central billing office. Then in 2025, I passed my training duties on to our team as I assumed the position of Access Optimization Specialist. This position is charged with onboarding new providers, maintaining schedules, assisting operations for our 40 primary care offices, while also leading projects for the AVP with the revenue cycle. In addition, I sit on the organization's Access Governance Council, composed of systems leaders and CBO Morale Committee with fellow CBO associates. My full resume with reference can be provided upon request. I have proficiency in Microsoft Office applications, have extensive experience presenting for training and meetings, and have the confidence of our organization to manage projects. While I may be new to city governance, rest assured that I can understand process, procedure, and decorum. From my understanding, this will be chosen by current council, not by election, which I understand may raise questions by some in the community. But please know that if I am given this seat, I will understand my position will be as a steward until the next election cycle. My goal is to be involved and help our cities. Thank you for your consideration. There's one. And the other is to Matthew Dudley Walker. Okay, thank you for this opportunity to be considered for service on the Bromley City Council. I believe in strongly the kind of community Bromley represents. The strongest towns are not built through noise or division, but through neighbors who look out for one another, people who step forward when help is needed, and a shared understanding that the well-being of the community belongs to all of us. Local government is where those values matter most. It is not about distinct politics or headlines. It is about steady work of listening to residents, addressing real concerns, and making thoughtful decisions that protect and strengthen the town we call home. Through my personal experience in operations and security leadership, I have developed strong skills in communication, problem solving, managing complex situations calmly and responsibly. My work has required coordinating with diverse groups of people, addressing the concerns quickly, and making practical decisions that prioritize safety, accountability, and service. I want to serve on the city council because I care deeply about this community and believe in contributing in a meaningful way. If given the opportunity, I will approach this role with humility, respect, and commitment to working in the best interest of the residents of Bromley. Thank you for your time and consideration. Matthew Dudley Walker. So we got Matthew Dudley Walker, which is here, but this Derek is not in attendance, so it's up to you all to choose.
You want to pass those around for everybody?
Yeah.
All the way over there.
Oh,
Take it that way and then I'll get it.
Dude, yeah, I didn't want to. Do you all know these people? Do you all know these people? Meaning, are they residents and?
Yeah, they're residents.
They qualify?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're over 18, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
this one's
So
120.
you guys could have a little bit of conversation about what you're
I
doing.
don't see an address on it.
no, I checked in to make sure they lived in the city of Bromley also, so.
Do you know what their address is on that second?
It's 120 Short Street.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew is on Shelby, the corner of Shelby and Bromley.
Yeah. They're almost neighbors.
Yeah.
You said one's here.
One
is here.
Yeah, Matthew's
Matthew's
here.
here. So you want to address the council?
Would you like to address the council? Matthew?
Sure.
Okay,
Do you
stand
mind
up there.
standing to the podium, just so that microphone gets you on? If you don't mind stating your name and address and
Yeah, my name is Matthew Walker. I live down the corner of Shelby 241. Moved in April of 22. Really kind of, grown very fond of the community. Want to give back as best I can. Plan on being here for the foreseeable future. College graduate of Gateway. My degree's in electronic media and broadcasting. I've worked the last couple of years. Previously, I was an insurance agent. Then I got into security, surveillance. Most recently was out at the Amazon Air Hub, doing surveillance, setting up a SOC, Security Operations Center. So I've done a variety of different things. I've been very involved with the community, helping with the beer festival. I actually volunteered on the board for that this year. Looking forward to that. And I just kind of want to get back and help out as much as I can.
Anybody got any questions for him?
No.
No? Okay, thank you.
No problem.
The second, is it?
both candidates are,
Oh.
seem well qualified.
The fact that he can't be sworn in
Just
before.
to try it out.
30 days or 60 days. I make a motion that we accept his basic application for council seat.
I apologize, I missed your whole, I didn't hear you.
He was talking over there.
I'm sorry.
I'm making a motion that his seat, he takes the vacant seat based on the fact that he's here. Second applicant has not.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited, we got a couple new young individuals wanting to start, doing something around town and get us old people off here.
And I will stop down and talk to the other gentleman, just to let him know, you know what I mean? That in the future, keep your hopes up, you know what I mean?
I have seen Derek coming to like the beer festival and some of the community events.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I mean,
It's
We
exciting
come
to
down
see
for
him.
Christmas Day and.
Yeah, so it's exciting to see him wanting to be involved.
they're a cool little family, yeah. I'll second Dave's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Nobody opposed?
Yeah, make sure he gets over
Will you repeat the name of the person you just voted for?
Matthew Walker, right?
Do you want me to swear him into that?
Yeah.
I mean, that way when I come back, I don't mind, but,
Okay.
I'll tell you he's ready.
I'm good.
You know, I wonder why they never changed that swearing in on that.
I have to do it every year for a board I'm on, and I haven't dueled, but it sounds like fun. So, so I'm gonna swear you in.
Sure.
If you, come on, I'm gonna stand over here just so where your back's not turned to the camera.
Congratulations.
Sorry, put it back to you. Okay. You could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute, to the best of your ability, the office of City Council Member for the City of Bromley, Kentucky, according to law? And do you further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, you, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as second in a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help you God? Okay, congrats.
Congrats.
Hey, Matt, you can just have a seat over there. We'll get your name tag. Okay, well, that's all I have. Okay. Somebody make a motion that we accept all the committee reports.
Make a motion, we accept the committee reports.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Old business, has anybody got any old business? Yes.
I've got some new and old. I wanted to touch base on the flags that I so personally got. But anyway, I asked Diane at the end of the meeting, why was we changing them? And she said, a while back ago, council had decided and agreed and voted on that they wanted to change them. I said, well, why did we spend so much money on the ones that we have and they're so nice, and why do we want to change them? Like, I don't know, I didn't want to change them, I just assumed that everybody else did.
Wasn't there one in summer at one time?
Well, she said that the better ones would stay up from Memorial Day to Veterans Day, and then take them down, and then the other flags would stay up until Memorial Day again. And, I mean, I'm for having them, I just don't understand why you want to take them down and switch them out to something else. But if you do, I did reach out to Hedgehog, who she got the other ones from, and they said if I give them an idea of what we would like, they could come up with 3 or 4, ideas for us, and it usually takes 2 weeks or something to get them back.
Well, you want something that's maybe like got flowers or
I would
something.
think
showing
something
spring
maybe
and
just
summer.
says welcome to Bromley with like founded in or established or something, like something like our signs, our
Yeah.
city signs.
That'd
Even
be-
a picture of something like that. I mean, if that's what you all want, I mean, but
Are the veterans banners, are those just for the fall? Is that?
well, she said Memorial
Memorial
Day
Day.
through
Yeah.
Veterans Day.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think one reason for taking them down was trying to make them last. Because in the summer and the heat like that, really.
And then Jack had mentioned the new ones that are going down on Route 8. There was discussion to take them up 13 feet because of the trucks.
Trucks, yeah.
But he said if we put them on the inside of the pole, which would be over the sidewalk, we could still keep them at 10, like they would match all the rest of them, instead of hanging over the street at 13. I don't know if that's something that would be okay, or,
Well, well, you guys think about it, I mean, the visibility, you have less visibility if you're driving. You know what I mean?
But if you.
you got less chance of getting hit too.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking for destruction purposes.
Mhm.
Most people can, I won't mention an age group, can reach 10 foot.
And it's much easier for him to get up 10 feet than 13, you know, so.
Yeah, I agree with the position on that side too, primarily because the traffic is tucked towards the curb on that side of the street, whereas this side you can park, that side you can't park. So the traffic is already pushed
That
towards
makes
the,
sense, yeah.
it's already pushed towards the curb, so.
Well, that was the reasoning for 13 feet, was it had to have clearance for
Yeah.
trucks at 13 feet.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
That's,
that's fine with me.
it's up to you guys or
10
gals,
feet would
if
be
they
okay?
want to put them
Yeah.
at 10, I don't care. 10's fine.
And do we know how many? I don't know how many's up now versus how many extra ones we got for down here that's coming.
There should be 14 on Main Street,
14?
should be.
And I know the ones that are down here are gonna be larger.
They are.
Yeah.
So currently up right now is just 14, and then whatever we put up down here. So what kind of a total should I tell her that we would want if I'm gonna order them all at the same time? I don't know how many more
I
can
would
go up down
I
here.
would do 20.
We've already got some of the large ones, don't we?
Yeah,
Got 3
we
or
do.
4?
The
Yeah,
the veterans,
You're
yeah.
talking about for the veterans?
Yeah.
And she's talking about.
I'm talking about
policies and
ordering new
signs for
flags
city
the-
of Bromley.
for the city flags. I didn't know how many we
Yeah,
should
but you still
order.
need a count.
Well, that's what she
Well,
did.
14 for sure, and then.
And then how many did
You
we,
said 14, and how many?
How many-
do we have
how many
down
can we
there?
do down
6
here?
or 8. So I said 20. Make it 24.
have extras?
Yeah.
So is something like our city sign would be okay to put up, like a blue sign that
Especially at 10 foot.
Yeah.
says welcome to Bromley on it?
Maybe if they can give you, just shoot it,
Yeah, I'll have to give you some,
each council member,
Yeah.
just shoot it up and let us look at it.
okay,
And then we'll respond back to you.
okay. And we have brackets for those already down there, correct?
Correct.
Now, did you say the new flags are different size from these flags?
They are.
So which size do you want me to go with? That size or the, I don't even know how big the other ones are.
Diane?
Well, you'll have to go with 2 different sizes.
It does have to be two different sizes, so
Okay.
14 in the
It's
small
either
one.
that or spend a lot of money on new brackets.
Got it. Rest
They're pretty expensive.
and bigger.
Have you drive around and try to get a count, what's actually going to be down
Okay.
on the route?
Yeah.
I'll give you a better idea. Okay. Any other old business? New business? Anybody got new business? Yeah.
I wanted to see what council's thoughts were on getting, stone engraved bricks that citizens could order and making it around the pantry, which would, I think, be nice, and 2, cut down on having to cut the grass around it as well. I've got several, different options here. I mean, they're all the same bricks pretty much. Some of them's got different color options, but I think I would go with one standard. Looks like they vary anywhere from 18 to 20 bucks a stone. If we could put something like up on our website, if we want to do it, and then like the citizens could, you could do 3 lines of writing on that, whether they're your name or in memory of, or and you can put anything on your pets, whatever you want to do on them. But I do have information if anybody's interested in seeing it, but I just wanted to throw it out and see if that was anything anybody
Yeah,
wanted to do.
once you put it on our page, you want me, and we'll see what kind of response you get, how many people are interested in purchasing that.
I'll get something together and give it to Britt to put on there, then when she gets back.
Okay, fine.
Okay, that's it.
Anything else? Communications, there was none. Bills, need a motion of the bill to be paid?
I'll make a motion that bills be paid.
That's Dave's.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay.
There we go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I make a motion for adjournment.
Well, that's his job.
Come on, somebody else second that.
Second.
I'll second.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?